Hey guys, it's going to be a split recording, unfortunately, because we had to restart our computer to continue playing this. We lost probably about 6 or 7 minutes, unfortunately. We're likely to win this first game that we're still in right now. Had to play it very aggressively due to the presence of Dust Bowl. We do have a cryptic command available to us right now, which means we probably just win the game. Okay, do you have a spell to play? No? Okay. Well, I guess we win. It's actually fine. Don't care. Yep, it's fine too. Okay, well, let's get in there for R5. Okay, got him. Got him first game. Let's hope he doesn't have a hyper-aggressive draw the second game. They can be pretty fast, but we do have good board against them. This. Otherwise, I think we're fine. What do we want to take out? The miners seem less than good. I still kind of like the burn package. These are the games where you kind of almost wish you had, maybe Dark Confidant's not good enough. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a contested match. He's good in control. Possibly not here. I do want to have some of my bigger win cons, though, that just make games tough. Yeah, putting in 2 board wipes. Now we just need to watch out for Planeswalkers. And hope we have our hate in our draw. But we only brought in 3 cards, so... The Clasms are interesting. I wonder if they're good enough here. Probably not. I think his creatures are just too darn big. We shall see. And actually, while he's boarding, let's go and check to see if... Yeah, 54 minutes. I think that's the first part of this. I hope so. I hope it saved it. It may not have, though. We may have lost the first match against Sea and Rhythm that we won in 2 very close games and then a rout due to mana screw on his part. So we managed to get the first game. If you're watching this after we had to restart the computer. My hope is it's backed up on that other file, though. So this matchup. I think it could go either way, to be honest. I think if they get a fast start and we don't have good counter magic, we can lose quite horrendously. If he doesn't play a lot of threats out, like I don't think he has a lot of comeback from behind cards, we can counter the most important stuff, and then we can get many for 1 card advantage off our Wrath effects. But we'll see. I think he thought he was talking to someone else. Yeah. Okay, this hand's a keep. It's not great, but it is a keep. Mostly because of the presence of Brainstorm and knowing that I'm not going to get... okay, Elf. Don't want to kill that. Draw burn. No, not burn. I'm going to wait and see what he does with it. That could be dead wrong. Okay. Interesting. More land? No. Interesting, interesting. Alright, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to brainstorm. If he passes the turn, that could be bad. Okay, he's going to attack. Oh, the greedy keeps. And now we, I think, have this game pretty well in hand. Electrolyze should seal the deal. If he's able to play like a one-mana threat, nope, he's done with it. He's off it. Good games. Okay, well, let's go report our results on Gatherling. And okie doke. And let's catch some of the other matches going on. So most of them are still going on. Which one do I think is the most interesting? What's going on here? Golden Lyn always has sweet decks. I kind of want to see what's going on. What if it's like red, white humans again? These are both pretty cool decks. Oh, it's white aggro. Okay. White weenie. Who's advantaged here? Hard telling. That is a manland on the other side. Yeah, probably C4R1S. Alright. ML and C. We'll check that one out in a second. Let's check this one out as well. Okay. Yeah, I believe Black Dragon is relatively new to Magic. Destroy target creature. Okay, yep. Interesting cards. Typhoid Rats. Actually, that card is great in Limited. I like that card a lot in Limited. I don't think that Black Dragon's favored here. Like a tokens deck going on. Like, it's kind of interesting. A. Lawrence has got all the best Esper cards known to man. Noxious Dragon. Dies, you may destroy target creature. Interesting. It's kind of cool. Haven't seen that card in a while. I believe it's Khan's block, if I'm not mistaken. Probably just has like a Path to Exile or Swords to Plowshares for it, my guess would be. Yeah, you don't want to attack there unless you have like Pump, but you can't even pretend you have it because you have 0 cards. Looks like Michelle's opponent didn't show up. Let's see what Rob Zedar and Dots are up to. Okay, Dots is playing 4-color Blood today, it appears. And Rob is on a pretty standard build of appears of White Weenie. Got an Aether Vial, Mutavault, and Thalia in play. I think the 4-color Blood, if the mana is fixed, is actually quite strongly benefited in this matchup. Not benefited, but favored. But we'll go back to it in a second. Let's kind of take a look around. C4, R1S wins. Yep. Okay. Well, he found a sword. Yeah, that's probably game. Although he could have blocked there and then bounced back to his hand and replayed her next turn to keep the beats off of himself. Interesting. But yeah, he can block. Oh, it's Intimidate. Never mind. No, you can't. It's unblockable. I'm silly. What else we got going on over here? Nothing much. Let's go check out the game between C and ML. Sorry if I'm jumping around a bit. I want to find like an interesting game that doesn't appear to be like an ill-favored matchup for either player. Like I said, I think this game is over. Tassiger is grinding out card advantage. Oh, C is mulling to 5. Yuck. Sometimes it happens, though. Poor guy. Very strong player. It's too bad to see folks that, folks lose that way. Alright, 4-color Blood. That got killed. Which is good for Rob, but it's just this deck is full of all threats. Like, is this like a Kalitas or something? No, not a Kalitas. The Vampire Aristocrat thing? No, it's Liliana of the Last Hope. Which is going to kill the Thalia quite horrifically. But who knows what'll come out. I don't think I attack here if I'm him. I think I leave back. I'm sure he will do the same. Yeah, you never know what's going to come out of that vial. Nice little surprise waiting. Although eventually it will run out of cards. That's a good one to have. I know 4-color Blood well enough to know that he's going to have ways to answer this, or he's going to have bigger threats that must be answered by cards like Swords to Plowshares, which are much more... there's not as many of them. All right, Tesker is doing his thing. I'm gonna turn this game off, guys, because it's pretty lopsided. I think. What's going on over here? Maze of Ith and a bunch of lands. All right, an aerial responder. He loves this card. I don't know. Like it's like I guess like half of like a Vampire Nighthawk or something. I don't know. Double blocking the land, attacking her. Okay, that makes sense. On 3 counters. He could outcurve him here with the Aether Vial. I don't know. I'm not really high on Aether Vial because I think it's like one of the worst draws ever in the mid to late game. If you're on White Weenie and not having 4, means that if you don't see it and you're opening 7 to 8 cards, then you never want to see it. He's going to put a Thalia in play here to stop Dots from playing out untapped lands and having his creatures come into play untapped. Which means he'll get to kill the Liliana unless Dots has sorcery or instant speed removal to kill the Thalia. It appears he does not. Well, actually, he's out of mana last turn, so what are we going to see here? His mana is freed up. Could see an Abrupt Decay. If he has Abrupt Decay, I think you Abrupt Decay the Thalia. Although he's got to be a little bit worried about the Ejano Castle because it can stop 2 damage if he doesn't have 4 damage variety of it. Was this like an Anafenza? No, Maelstrom, a Pulse. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's the point of playing 4-color Blood. It just has all of the best removal cards, most efficient and best removal cards in the game. And has behemoths like the Tarmogoyf. You probably plus the Liliana here. Yeah, like I said, I don't think White Weenie... I think Death and Taxes can beat this card. He's got like all the removal cards, so I guess, when you got it, you got it. Although, like, I still don't like his position. He's on 2 cards with not much going on. That's Solitary Champion. Interesting. Does have Shadow. Does he have another threat? A 4-mana threat. That's Sublime Archangel. Cool. That's pretty cool. Pretty impressive. I didn't think... I mean, that was a lucky draw. Depending on what happens. He may win this, actually, though. The perfect curve out. Yeah, Liliana's dead. But he's on 0 cards, tier 3. There are ways of beating this. He's already got Black Force Field in play to stop the Sublime Archangel. What's going on over here? We finally have things resolving. Yeah, we have a bunch of creatures in play. A Counterspell Expent. Although he can stop most things outside of like a Supreme Verdict if C attains the ability to cast it. This game's interesting. I don't know if I like putting it into play untapped. If he has PTE, no, I guess he doesn't have it. Then you just lose your Glenalandra. Oh, Green Sun Zenith. For what? It's got to be green. What kills the Solitary Champion or the Sublime Archangel? Not that. Okay, well, he's going to draw a lot of cards. He didn't get attacked for a lot of damage off the Solitary Champion. All right. Although the funny thing is like C is just like 1 turn away from just drawing an answer to all this nonsense. Yeah, I got AEF. He had a bad draw though. Yeah, it's gonna get in there and be mono huge. Do a lot of damage. Alright, gonna maze something here, my guess would be. Yeah, maze the angel. This card would be so much cooler if it was, like, not attacking just, like, a creature, because, like, you could save everything from Wrath. I mean, it'd be still too slow. Alright, well. Game may be over, I don't know. Actually, let's see what Doc Pringles and Sensei are up to. Jump around a little bit. Oh, Burning a Wish. Is this Doc Pringles casting it? Waiting for Doc Pringles. Okay, a Grape Shot. Oh, he's playing Storm. Cool. That's pretty sweet. You got the Helm of Awakening. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. What turn is it, though? Turn 7? Be funny if he could gain a life somehow. Oh, he still has attackers, too. Cool, he stormed him out. That's pretty sweet. You don't see that all that often. I'm trying to see how he did this. What did he bounce? Oh, it was a mind over matter loop. Okay. Makes sense. I kind of want to watch that matchup. Oh, this game's over now. Consecrated Sphinx just probably ends the game. Unless he has a Wrath. Do you have a Wrath? Then you have Vidalcan Shackles. Okay, well, he's got Shackles. He got 1, 2. But he can't activate the lifelink on this thing. Well, that's game. Core Sanctifiers. Force of Will. I think the next level play is to leave up the Mystifying Maze. And actually just Mystifying Maze your own creature that he Vidalcan Shackles. What do you take here? Yeah, probably that. Makes sense. Yeah, the next level play is to use... Is this opponent only? Oh, it's only opponent. Okay. It's going to block the Arctic Haven. And then Mel's going to continue drawing a million cards. So I don't think there's ways of getting out of this. Alright, well, he's gaining some life. What else do we have going on here? He's got an 8-7. Seems good. Got a blocker for the flyer. Seems pretty good. This thing can dump its counter onto one of these two flyers. Interesting. Well, okay. Obviously a block here. Yep. Okay, he seems to think so as well. Well, he gets a Flash of Insight during his upkeep, which makes sense. Did he find an answer to it, like a Wrath or something, maybe? He can come back from this. It's not unreasonable to think that's possible. He can loop the Engineered Explosives for a while. Although, I don't know, like one card against so many. I don't know. Not the strongest draw in the world. I mean, if he has a creature card he can play with the Aether Vial, then he would play it out in response to the trigger from that thing. It does gum up the ground a bit. It's a -1/-1 counter, or is it a damage? It's damage, okay. Reading the Icasian Javeliers. This is a Fallen Empires card, a very old card. I kind of want to go watch Sensei's match, too. I want to see how Doc Pringles his complete storm loop. Okay, well, Sensei is just doing his mid-range thing. We'll go back to it when the game gets a little more interesting. Okay, he's going to Vidalcan Shackles that thing. I wouldn't even bother attacking. He's topping him, I would assume. More creatures? Oh, King Whiskers. Which doesn't make anything, it's just a 2/3. 2/3 for 3. Like a veteran bodyguard or whatever. Not veteran bodyguard, a veteran armor or something. Dot's got him. Kind of figured he would. That's a tough matchup for White Weenie. You really got to attack his mana base. That's the resource that makes that deck powerful. Well, I mean, its powerful cards are what make it powerful, but its ability to cast them through its mana base, I think, is one of the easier ways to attack them. You see a Wrath of God here? Yeah, it appears so. It would appear as so. Okay. But there is an active Jace, which is problematic, to say the least. This is white creatures, right? So this thing doesn't work. Oh, it's a blue Thopter. Alright, so he could do that. It's risky. Let's draw 3. Interesting. Oh, Linvala. She can be taken by Shackles, though. I wonder if he thought through that. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a misplay, actually. I don't think he wanted to play the Linvala out into Shackles there, because the Shackles can take her and threaten the Jace. Yeah. He really needs to find an answer for the Shackles. He had one that was quite good initially. I'm going to activate the Shambling Vent. That doesn't win in a fight against Sphinx. It's unfortunately a white creature as well. It appears not. He's going to get something back. Muddle the Mixture, getting back a Sword of the Meek, or getting Sword of the Meek, and winning the game. Cool. Congrats to C in Rhythm. He definitely found a way out of this, and I was pretty sure he could. I do think ML possibly misplayed a little bit, though, by playing the Linvala out. I don't care for that play, and now he's going to have, like, infinite mana 1/1s that he can put into play. And they are blue, so it works with Dread of Night. In the beginning, I thought it was blue-white Thopters for some reason or other. Well, he certainly wants to answer that if he can. No, Batterskull is not going to do it. They'll just lengthen the game out. Because he is going to gain all the life here. And he can actually kill Jace. No, he can't quite kill Jace. Let's go look at this game. Not this game. This one. This game appears quite over, so blue spells cost 1 less. Cool. Cloud of Fey untapping 2. Can't counter that one. My guess would be that's pretty crucial in his plan. Vindicate on top. He's only got 1 card in hand. So, we shall see. I mean, here he's just going to make a couple tokens. Yeah, I think C definitely turned the corner there pretty handily. Is he on a high tide turn right now? Yeah, he is. Okay. Oh, do you have a way of drawing a bunch of cards, or untapping really is the question. It's pretty cool to see him play in this deck, though. Cunning Wish. What is the storm count? 8? What does he get with Cunning Wish? Brain Freeze. Not enough. I don't think. No, definitely not enough. Unless he can survive a turn. No, he can only do a little bit of his deck. Okay. Well, that would be game. Oh, I guess not. I think there's actually one more match in this. Yeah, they have one more game in their match. Cool. Well, C could clock. I mean, ML was behind, but this card is very mana intensive. Am I missing something here? Where's the Urborg at? I'm trying to figure out how he tapped his Maze of Ith for mana. I don't see an Urborg in play. I must be missing something. I don't know. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, I don't know if this is a game. If there will be a game 3 or if this is the game 3. No, they're all going at Jace. I think you just let Jace. That's going at him. He decides to eat one of the randoms. Interesting. Well, C is back down on Thopters. Doesn't really answer the more pressing problem, which is Vidalca Shackles Thopter Foundry in Maze of Ith. A Fracturing Gust would be probably a good here, although it would get his own Sira Avenger. I'm sorry, his own Batterskull. I don't think anyone plays that card main. Well, that at least takes care of the Maze of Ith, which is not a bad thing. It seems pretty decent. So you can start gaining a life off of the Skull. Could see him equip up the Sira Avenger. I don't know if that's right here, though. Nope, just an attack with the Batter Skull. Alright, let's go back to this game. We're on a game 3 with like only 2 minutes and 45 seconds left. It's not generally good. Oh, Sensei's playing the counters deck. That's cool. The +1/+1 counters deck. Oh, Tainted Pact? Seems pretty good. He gets a Shambling Vent. Flooded Strand, okay. Well, Sensei evidently kept a very mana light hand. Corrosion Verge should, and Nature's Lore should get him out of that quite handily. And we're making tokens over here. I assume we're going to see the Germ get blocked. Yep. Okay. I'm sure that Germ is very dead. I should put another Thopter in front of the Linvala if he wants to kill the one that's equipped. Interesting. Oh, he's now going to take the Archangel of Thune, or the Archangel of Thune, which will make his creatures infinitely huge. Yeah, that seems bad. That should be close to game, actually. I don't know why you'd play that out. Interesting. Is he going to Wrath? I think I would take that and make my things infinitely big. That's just me. Like, Archangel of Thune plus Thopters seems pretty good. That's like Monastery Mentor. Essentially a built-in Monastery Mentor. Okay, well, Batter Skull back to hand. Play out your Skull. Okay, Sensei won this one. Yeah. Okay. Relearn. Huh. Well, that deck looked pretty cool that Doc Pringles was running. I think taking the Archangel of Thune, I don't know, may have been better. Could have been wrong, though. On 6 cards, he's bound to have some more stuff. Maybe he just wants to ride the Thopter Foundry to win. Plus, he's up on time, so what does he have to worry, right? Gonna counter this thing? It just dies. He wants to draw. Okay. I think this is the only game going right now. Yeah, no, it's the only game left. Alright. No, fatal push on the germ token. And return it, and I guess recast it. Just jam it again. If this is not a game, I don't know who won the first match here, or if this is a third game. If this is not a third game, then like it's going to come down to time for one of these two players, almost assuredly. No, it's a Gideon Ajera. That'll make it faster. It goes back up to 35. What does he have here? A Mirren, a Crusader. Oh, that's not good. I guess if you can equip it, it's not bad. It can't be blocked. This game's been over for a while, but I think both players are playing to clock. And it's going to counter this thing? I wouldn't counter this. I don't think you want to give him more basic islands. That means the skull is live, is more alive to be pulled off your side of the board. If he has like an island here, you could just take it. It's a moat. All right, well that's likely game 2. Counterspell. He obviously has one because he looked like he was going to counter the preordain, but he did not. Okay, he got a 6/6 on his side now. He's attacking in there for quite a lot. Well, jam the skull. Probably leave up Mystifying Maze. I believe it's 5 mana total because you have to tap this thing, so I count it as 5 mana. 4 mana to activate it, but you lose 1 mana doing it. Evidently, he does not seem to think so. Well, this must be a last game because I don't think C would be making as many of these things as he is if it wasn't the last game in the match. Oh, Vindicate. No. Is that lethal? Not quite. Doesn't recurse it. Interesting. You have Snapcaster to kill all this stuff. This thing is indestructible, right? Prevent all damage that would be dealt to it. No, it's not indestructible, but it would be doing damage to itself. This is Snapcaster. Yeah, Snapcaster, comeuppance. Called it. Although I think he could have waited one more turn to do this. And he probably should block the Gideon. Because the Gideon cannot kill itself. Wonder why he would attack there. Sure he has his reasons. Yep. May have an answer to the Gideon. Wonder if he runs a torrential Gear Hulk in there. Is there another way he could kill all these things? He could just wrath them all again, I suppose. Mystifying Maze on Gideon, man. There you go. Yep. I feel like he needs to wrath here, but I could be wrong on that. What else does he have to buy himself time? This is probably 16 damage in and of itself. So we get 6. I will see. That's a lot of damage. You gonna fire that thing up too? Okay. And probably fire up his Gideon. You have a Cryptic Command? Cryptic Command would be good here. No Cryptic Command, obviously. If he had Cryptic Command, he could actually probably win the game. Have like a fog effect. Interesting. You have Venser? Venser would be pretty good here because he could stay alive. No Venser? Alrighty, well that's the match, and it's on to, I believe, Game 3, guys. We're going to a quick pause. Alright, guys, we're live. This is Loma02 for our Game 3. We're going to keep this, mostly due to the power of the counter magic in hand, plus on the play it's not horrific. It does want more lands. It will be a land-hungry hand, but this is not something you toss back. A. Lawrence is on Esper control. Okay, cool. Let's save the fetch. Gonna pass it back. Hope to get him to tap down for something. The Dwarven Miner should be very good. Okay. Hey, cool. We're gonna wait. Either one of those cards would be great. Okay, well, we definitely don't want to miss on lands, though. Cool. Well, no need to play it now. Play out the Miner. He'll probably want to counter this. And we'll counter back. We'll remand it back to his hand. And play our own land out. The reason we remand is we wanted to get to land. And actually, counterspell in hand against Dwarven Miner is not a big deal. I'm going to see him kill it now. It's okay. Okay. It's on top of my deck. It's fine. And your go at it. Do you have a threat? This really bites us if he has like a Planeswalker threat. Wall, that's fine. Wall is A-okay with me. Where we get in trouble is if he plays like an Elspeth or something. Then it's just like, meh. Play this thing out. Force him to deal with it. I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. I could have fought it, but I'm not going to. Yep, that's fine. So, force him to do this. I want him to draw that next turn. Okay, well, you're out of mana for it, though. Take what you will. My guess would be probably the Logic Knot. But we shall see. No, the Condescend. Interesting. Okay. You can start plinking me for one if you'd like. I'm not going to attack in with my Wandering Ephemeral. Oh, cool draw. Let's see what we got. I don't think I want that. Start blowing up lands. He can Wrath the board if he wants. I'm not going to play my Tombstalker into a board that he could easily Wrath. Okay. Yeah, he has to start attacking with that, I think. It makes the most sense. Or he's just going to Wrath the board now. Nope. Okay. Start taking out his black mana. Now you got a spell. Okay. You have a Factor Fiction? No, it's a Vincer. Okay. Your go at it. He can start flipping this thing if he wants. So what he can do is flip the Venser back to his hand, but in response, I can terminate it. I also have up the Logic Knot. So it requires actual factual counterspell there, which does not appear he has. Okay. We'll get in there with our man land. Start evening the score a bit. This takes him off Tassiger unless the Windbrisk Heights can get something saucy. And I think this next turn we are going to take care of the Caracas. Well, he's got his Scrubland. Do you have the Tassiger? We're going to do this for 6, play around Days, if that's the last card in his hand. No, it looks like he has actual counter magic, a Condescend or something. That's fine. Nope. I don't really need that card either. Alright, your go at it. What do you got? You're going to top me. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. We will attack you. Cast this as a morph. We should be pretty set up for lethal. It depends on what he finds with his Jace. Yep, you got to draw. Could Wrath here, but that doesn't answer everything. And we also have Tombstalker to back all this up. So land was not per se the worst draw in the world. I mean, we'll see what he has here. Okay, what does he cast on that? A Vindicate. Okay, well that means he probably has instant speed ways of dealing with our nonsense. Okie doke. Well, let's fire him up. Do you have an answer? Okay, well he's looking for a card. We'll play this thing out. Yep, the manlands are definitely good here. We've also got the availability of our Tombstalker next turn as well. That bolt we put on bottom would have been nice about now. Okay, well you got a tapped land. Do you have an answer to this as well? Nope. Okay, well, game. Cool. Let's begin sideboarding. So in the control matchup, again, these two are good. Otherwise, I think I'm fine. Spellskite's interesting. Don't think we need it, though. I don't think Helitis is good in this matchup. I think it's more of a mid-range card. I think Toxic Deluge is kind of bad, even though it did some decent work for us there. So let's submit and go to the next game. And good game to you, Lawrence. Maybe this deck needs more answers to the control mirror. I think it tends to be okay in the control mirror, though, because its threats are just so cheap. Because they're all delve threats, right? So, I don't know. Maybe he just wants the aggro answers. Kind of cool, though. We've gotten to play against two control decks today, so far. And, I don't know, I tend to enjoy playing control v control. It's not bad. Definitely a nail biter, that last one. It's like, oh, do you find it with your Jace or do you not? And I do very much so think he Shadow of Doubted into that answer, because there's no reason to cast it after I've already attacked. I mean, I guess the life total is not that relevant in this game. We're going to keep this, but it's risky because, well, we're going to keep it. Because it really, yeah, keep. Because it can't answer, it can't field the Dwarven Miner and or cast the Is It Charm initially. Okay, well, you're going to cast a discard or just tap it? Okay, F6. Well, that being said, I'm going to play this out. And hope to draw land before then. I want to keep up this Pierce. I think it is relevant. And I will counter that if your hand's not good enough. Okay, go. You have a Tessiker. Could play it here. I would not counter it. Oh, he's going to vindicate my lands. Interesting. Okay, go. I don't really tend to like vindicating lands, unless I have to. Okay, you can duress me. What do you want to take? Okay, the Jace the Mind Sculptor. Interesting. Well, I want to pass it back. I'm out of land. I believe he is too, unless he tops one this next turn. But we do have Force of Will now. Alright, he's got his land. Cool. Well, it's not land. Well, this hand is not working out well. Although we did keep it knowing that that was a problem if it didn't hit a fetch land and or a red land. We'd be in trouble. Well, he's out of land as well. Well, it's a strong draw. I think here we're going to discard the Is It Charm. Interesting timing. He could have gotten a free card off of discard, unless he has a counter for this. Okay, go. Maybe he has something he really wants to resolve next turn, but wants to tap out for it. No? Okay. Well, what do we got on top? You can counter this if you want. He kind of seems like the way he's played it, he wants to try to mana screw me. But eventually I'll get out of it. And if he can't kill me rapidly, it's not going to be relevant. Because eventually I will draw out of it. We're going to shuffle this pile. Yep. Well, pretty unlucky draw, especially having 3 more non-lands on top. Well, not a land, but hopefully closer. Evidently, he can do nothing but hit lands, which I think tends to favor him. Well, we're discarding. Pretty miserable game. Maybe it'll get exciting at some point. Right now, it's just, hey, can we top a land? Nope. Can't do it. 83 deep, 37 land deck? Cannot do it. I'll counter that. Okay. Well, he's got Venser at this point, and we have 0 more lands than the ones we started with. Hey, it's a Badlands. Eventually we can draw out of it. Cool. Well, we're hitting our lands now. We need to have him make a mistake, though. I don't foresee this being useful in this matchup, so I'm going to cycle it. He can bounce one of my lands if he wants. I may even fight him just to get him to waste counter magic on his turn. Although, that may not make sense. You see a Venser here? Yeah, you know what? I'll fight you. What else you got? A Cryptic Command? Bouncing another land? Okay, he wants to bounce all my lands, evidently. I don't think this is a winning strategy, by the way. Okay, a Vendilion Click. Do you have Force of Will? Well, I'll get rid of this thing. That little chunk of love. Do you have a real threat at this point? And even if you do, I can still, like a Batterskull or something. Planeswalker. Alright, he's got that thing. That's fine. Do you have a real threat? Nope. Okay. Play this thing out. He can counter on his upkeep if he likes. You got something. Yeah, Force of Will. Okay. I'll draw your card. That's a thing in these control mirrors. Well, that's strong. Play this thing out. Patience is generally key. Okay. What's your name? Although we are short on clock here. Hey, Wrath aboard. Well, it's not a fast clock. But it is a clock, nonetheless. We're going to take the damage so we can leave up the Dissolve, Exclude, and or Factor Fiction. No good, sir. I'm not going to cast the Factor Fiction right there. I will, however, do this. Do you have a Wrath in your hand? I don't really care about any of this. So we know with exactitude what he drew there. And Factor Fiction, featuring a lot of counter magic. Yep, good game, man. Factor Fiction, end step, I win. Yeah, so that card does in the control mirror. All right, guys, we're going to want a quick pause and report results, and we'll watch some other matches. All right, guys, we're back. Just reported our match. We're watching a match between Storm and some sort of mid-range, I believe. Um, and I'm actually kind of excited to see this because I haven't gotten to see Michelle's deck yet. And I know Doc Pringles is on some sort of like storm, like brain freeze. It's is it storm is what it is at the end of the day. He does not have tendrils, which I don't know. I think is less greedy. I think it's easier to get storm count in red blue than it is in red blue black. However, I think it is less powerful. Um, you know, all right. Miri's a guile and oh, okay, cool. It's mana next turn, 4 mana next turn, more than likely, or more possible. A little bit tougher in this format to get multiple extra mana in a turn. You have like Ancient Tomb, City of Traders. No one plays that card though. I guess crop rotation into like our Gaia's Cradle, that works too. There's a couple ways to do it. For the most part, you're limited though. I don't know how disruptive Michelle's deck is. Michelle tends to build decks that are more cohesive in their own plan than they are disruptive of others' plans. Unless she's playing Azorius. If you're playing counterspells, you're always disrupting what someone else is doing, right? But when she plays mid-range, she tends to just play decks that have just good cards, right? Which is a fine strategy. The deck itself will run better. But part of the reason that I make the distinction between like a deck like White Weenie and Death and Taxes is because Death and Taxes foregoes some of the aggressive capability of that deck, the aggressive potential of that deck, to have disruption so that it's interactive. Because I think at the heart of this game, I mean, it's a game of social interaction and, and contention. And, a lot of times, like, I just think decks tend to be better if they eschew a bit of power, but have the ability to impact what others are doing. That may be like a lengthy, nonsensical diatribe about nothing. Maybe I'm just like full of crap. I don't know. But we shall see. She's on Abzan. We have Siege Rhino. Just bash his eyelids in. We'll let her keep on playing. And, I want to see how Dots is doing over here. This is probably the aggro matchup for him. We've been lucky in our pairings today and have had no aggressive pairings. Well, I guess green deck wins or Stompy is pretty aggressive, but it's more manageable. It's just like it comes at you one at a time almost, as opposed to like red deck wins where it's like 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like it expands so rapidly. Oh, Dark Tutelage. I love this card. It's essentially a little more expensive, more difficult to remove, but more expensive version of Bob. Oh, cool. So they're kind of in the mirror almost, right? They are kind of in the mirror. I don't think... Yeah, no, this game's over. I didn't look at the card count. 1 card to 4 with a commanding board position with the player with more cards. I tend to think that player is going to win. They do have a Terminate in hand, which is something, I suppose. Although they need to find a way to deal with artifacts quite rapidly, because there are 2 of them, they're going to pound the life out of them, and probably have protection from most things in that deck. I guess not Path to Exile, but he's not playing white. Oh, what's he got here? It'd be pretty funny if he had the win. He does, okay, alright. He already had it in there, he saw it was a good game. Cool. All C4R01S wins the match. And let's go back to Michelle's game, see what's going on. We have long-term plans. Well, makes sense to cast it there, especially with an Aven Mind Sensor on the stack. Although I think Mind Sensor should do a significant amount of work against his deck. Decks like that tend to fold pretty easily to the Aven Mind Sensor, the Leonin Arbiter, Thalia, either Thalia. Tend to be fairly tough for it. Glow Rider, stuff like that. The Pegasus card, I can't remember its name, that makes things more expensive. And actually, some of those cards that I'm talking about are cards that I do play in Death and Taxes over more aggressive cards that disrupt it. But obviously, she's proving me wrong here. She's playing on Aven Mind Sensor. I think most people tend to play this card. Whether they think about it hard or not, it's just one of those white cards that you want in your deck when you're playing a 100-card singleton format because people are going to tutor. It's a 100-card format with only single cards. People are going to do it because, if you want your deck to be good, it's got to have some ability to come back from behind. Alrighty. Oh, Mary's Guile. Always eating up the clock. Let's go check out this game right here. This is Control versus Mono Green Stompy. Well, I don't know. We already had a Wrath come down? No, we've had a Toxic Deluge kill a bunch of stuff. I think... Well, if he hasn't played a land this turn, this is very strong for him. Actually, this card will tend to beat Control if he has not played a land yet. Unless he already has, like, a Path to Exile in hand. But that card is very tough to beat for Control. It just draws you so many cards. Mana advantage. Okay, well, are we going to see a Path to Exile? No, we're not. Manland into Nissa is pretty strong. Alright, Green Warden and Marasa getting back more threats, including the Hornet Queen and a bunch of other junk. Probably the Garruk Relentless is the best card to get, though. But Nissa's going to tend to beat Counter Magic because she'll just keep on drawing more threats. It's a card advantage engine, which is tough to find in green. Even if currently he is up on cards. Alright, we've got a Force of Will coming out of him against a Sylvan Scrying. Interesting. Huh. I guess he's relying on his lands a lot. It's good to see him go down on cards, though. She could also beat the living crap out of his graveyard. I think she wanted to leave open the black mana to do just that, because Snapcaster's a thing. What's it called? Past in Flames is a thing. You know, etc. So, we got a Green Ward to Marasa, getting back a Hornet Queen. I think Garruk is actually the right choice there. But I think a lot of players tend to misplay, and I'm not trying to like knock anyone, tend to misplay against Control. I don't think he can beat a Garruk. Like, just making a 2-2 every turn. Like, he's got to present a threat if he does that, and then some of his other cards become nullified because he's presented a threat that he'll have to destroy. So it it breaks what his deck's trying to do, which is achieve card advantage. Well, he draws a lot more cards, so he has cards. That is not a problem right now for him. That's like meh here. It's a great card, but I think here it's kind of meh. Yeah, I can get a Treetop Village or a Nykthos, a Shrine of whatever this is. Shrine to Nyx. He's got a fast effect. Oh, it's just that, okay. Makes sense. I guess gain the life while you can. I don't think it's relevant in this matchup. Okay, Eldritch Evolution. Yuck. That's a must counter. So, probably going to attack and then play out a Hornet Queen, I guess would be. I'm pretty much hitting pure gas off the Nissa. Okay, well, that's it through. That's also not one you want to kill either unless you're going to exile it. You're going to see a Hornet Queen come out. Does not get countered. So my guess is he probably does have a Wrath of some sort. Where he's like, I don't know what he would have here. That's besting this at instant speed. It could be a Factor Fiction. Or it could just be, no, he's not going to burn up a land. That's silly. He needs his lands more than AEF does. Oh, Sphinx is a Revelation. Well, it's not bad. The funny thing about that card is, like, unless the decks are just, like, not pressuring you whatsoever, that card tends to only get, like, 1 to 2 cards in my experience. It's not a bad card whatsoever, but, alright, we're going to discard something here. Seems pretty fine to me if I'm AEF. He does have 7 cards, and a superior board status. But I think we can see a Wrath change all of that right here. AEF wins. Okay, well, I guess not. Yeah, the double, the 6 mana, but arguably double Eternal Witness plus the Nissa were definitely enough. So that's too bad. And good job, AEF. I'm just rooting a little bit for C because I think he got a little bit unlucky against me as well. And I hate to see that. Alright, well, the mana is infinite, but the cards are not. She does not really have a resounding clock here, though. So he could possibly get this. The Aven Mind Sensor should make that more difficult. Plus, I think you leave back. No, you don't attack with that guy. You leave him back just in case she tries to return like long-term plans. Even though like long-term plans is not planning very far in the future. It's planning the top 4 cards of your library. It's essentially a worse version of Index for more mana. All right, what do we got here? Okay, Sally Pride Mage. Yeah, you blow that up then. Take him off mana. And that's probably the game. I guess it depends on his draw. Could just have it all here. Oh, High Tide. All right, well, he's on it. I don't know if he found that. He must have found that with the long-term plans. He's got infinite mana into Frantic Search. No Turnabout, okay. Turnabout, but down to 1 card, which means it can't be Frantic Search if he wants to find something. A Timer, a Reversal. So he's got an extra turn, plus all the cards in the world. Can he do it, though? Very cool deck. Time Reversal is essentially a very expensive version of Time Twister, costing 2 additional mana, 1 blue additional mana, and 1 colorless. I kind of want to see him get there. Like, this is a cool deck, and like, my hat's off to you, Doc Pringles. I didn't think you were favored this last turn. Either you drew it well, or you just had it and you were waiting, trying to build up to it with the Gauntlet. But very cool deck. I tend to use I use Spiral in mine. I think Spiral is just a better card because of the untap. But the Storm deck that I have run historically is a Tide-based deck. I think it's one of the few ways without the fast artifact mana. And I'm talking to like the actual vintage artifact mana, like your Power 9 cards. It's not as feasible to not use Tide. Well, did you find a way to win? I guess we shall see. That Aven Mind Sensor does have to be having somewhat of an impact, though. Alright, well, everything's a little cheaper. Although he did kind of lock himself. If he's going to draw cards, I'm not sure if I like this. If he intends on drawing cards, because he's off of red mana at this point, and I think he's already played his land for the turn. Could find a Lotus Petal, though. Lotus Petal would set it back up. Or a Simian Spirit Guide, if he runs it. You see that. So now we can tutor. Is that going to be enough? I guess he could have Frantic Search as well. I could tutor for Frantic Search. Is he going to Visions again? I was going to say, yuck. If you're Visionsing again, that's not good. That means you didn't really get there. If he had the tutor and he could find... And he could find, like... I don't know what. Like, Diabolic Intent would work here. Tainted Pact, but he has too many islands in his deck to run Tainted Pact, I think. I run 8 in mine. 4 snow, 4 basics. I mean, I guess they're all basics, but 4 snow, 4 regular, which allows me to run Tainted Pact, but it's still a little dicey. Like, if you find something else that'll work, like if you're looking for something specific, you may not want to. But there's a lot of cards to tutor in there, so you can find like an actual specific tutor that finds what you're looking for with it. I've also had it like fail on me before. I think twice playing the deck in probably about like 40 matches or so. You just can't be greedy with it. So what is he really looking for here? Like when he cast this thing, I was like, yuck, can't be good. It means you don't already have what you need. His storm count 8. So my understanding of his win cons are that he does not have. He doesn't have the tendrils. So in order to like deck her, he's going to need an awful lot of action, like a lot more ways to draw cards. Personal tutor, okay. Do you have a Gitaxian probe into Frantic Search? That could work. This is looking for Frantic Search, my guess would be. Or could it be Reset? No, Reset doesn't work on his turn. It only works on her turn. And he's already masked the storm count. So let's see what he finds. He needs something that untaps everything. And it needs to be for 3 mana. So he needs to like Frantic Search, untap 3 lands, and then have more follow-up that he hits off the top 2. That's the best line, I think. I think he needs to grab Frantic Search right now. He doesn't have enough mana. Unless there's another... I mean, maybe he knows his deck better than I do, but I think that's the best line, is Frantic Search is the best card I can think of to get you back up on mana. Although, that being the case, unless he topped this or Cryptic Command, brings into question why he would have utilized the Serum Visions, because Frantic Search would have been much more powerful with Snapcaster Mage if he had the Personal Tutor available to him at the time after he first cast the Serum Visions. I think it's stronger, but I don't know. Well, he doesn't seem to know either, because 9's not going to cut it. Alright, well, Burning Wish is uncastable. He may already have the Frantic Search. Could also Brain Freeze himself if he has a way to recurse another untap spell, to recurse cards out of his own library. This has got to be, at this point, a Frantic Search, I think, or bust. Actually, no, interestingly, because he's at 3 mana, he could turn about because of the Goblin Electromancer. So he's in a Flicker, but then what? I guess Cryptic Command his own land? Yuck. Yuck, 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 yuck. Alright, well, he just burned through a lot of resources to have very little impact. That's too bad. It really is. Just kind of hoping to see something cool. So we're going to see a Burning Wish. My guess would be getting the Brain Freeze, and or it could be to get like a Toxic Deluge. That could be a sideboard card that he has available to him to buy himself time against the Aven. Well, Michelle's got all the time in the world. Doc Pringles definitely does not. Where are we at? All right, we're done with all of the matches, excepting this one. All right, let's go back to the game. Well, hey guys, I'm going to go on a quick pause. There's not much to talk about while someone's looking at this because I have no clue what well, alright, she's done. We'll try to be more aggressive with the pausing because I'm sure folks don't want to sit and wait real time for Miri's Guile to finish being triggered. There's no lands in there, so unless she found land, which is likely off Miri's Guile, her most likely, and even if she did, her most likely play is to play out the Aven Mind Sensor again, I think. Because it protects her from him tutoring his deck. He's still on 5 cards, which is not out of the danger zone, but what's exiled at this point? Call to Mind, Time Reversal, Serum Visions. Nothing bad for him is exiled. Serum Visions is not stellar. That's actually one of the worst. In my opinion, it's one of the worst cantrips for that deck, for that style of deck. Okay, well, she's got a 2-mana threat. I think she still wants the Censor in play, though. Although she wants to play at instant speed, because he's likely to go get either a Wrath or a Win Con with his Burning Wish. So it'll be interesting to see. Well, what are you thinking through, Michelle? You gonna fight one of these things? I mean, if she had Dromoka's command, she could just fight the Electromancer and make everything cost more for him. And then leave up the Deathrite to plink anything that he tries recursing out of the graveyard into the spells. So he has cards like, Call to Mind. Oh. Interesting. Alright, Sylvan Scrying. Likely to get a Wasteland, would be my guess. Wastelanding the steam vents to make one of the cards in his hand that she knows about unavailable, which would be the Burning a Wish. Though this could be folly if I doubt it will be, but it could be folly if he just tops a Red Source. Don't know how many he runs in the deck. I'll be very curious actually to look at his deck list after this game is concluded. Very interested because like I love these style of decks. A lot of people don't. I know ML is like a known enemy of like combo decks, but I enjoy combo, and more specifically, I enjoy Storm a lot. Like I think the deck is very awesome. All right, well we got another card that's coming her way, and she can also exile all of his stuff at instant speed from his graveyard. And she's going to discard. Interesting. A Sylvan Arranger. Well, what do you have, man? Well, he's going to get on the beatdown plan. All right. 4 damage is a bit. Like, you don't think it's relevant, but it's like, honestly, when you're playing Storm decks and Hunter card, like 4 damage can mean a world of difference. And it's kind of like playing Escape Shift in like Modern, for instance. Like when you go to 18, it's like that's a whole turn off of their clock to kill you. Generally speaking. Okay, well that goes to the remove from game zone, or exiled zone rather. I'm sorry. A lot of players today. Pretty cool. 14? Maybe an all-time high. I don't know. Very cool, though. Actually, a higher percentage of blue than normal. Still very low. I don't know why. Folks in the 100-card singleton don't like blue. I tend to enjoy the color blue, but I don't always play it. Probably most well known for my aggressive white decks. But I would prefer to play a blue deck. Well, I mean, that gets rid of the black mana, if that's what's desired. Then she's likely to leave up the Deathrite Shaman to leave a Relic of Progenitus available to her. No, I guess not. Maybe she's going to cycle it now. Well, she has a Birds of Paradise. She stays on mana parity. Very tough time hitting lands with this build of hers. Well, you can do 4 more damage. There's the red mana he was looking for. Okay, what do we got here? A Peregrine Drake. This card, until it was banned in Pauper, after it was published in this form right here, because I think it was an uncommon before, it just broke that format apart when Peregrine Drake was allowed. I actually considered this card initially in my Storm build. I didn't use it though. Thought this one too, but I didn't use this either. It's too much blue mana, and although maybe it was wrong not to use Ideas Unbound, it is essentially like a slightly more expensive Ancestral Recall in the right context. Now we got a Burning Wish. Cool. And we're at Storm Count 3. I think if he wants to kill this turn, I think he wanted to attack before he went into this sequence. Although Relic of Progenitus is now dead. Like, he can't do... If he wants to recurse his graveyard, he can't even do it anymore. Well, I guess he's not going to go into a game-winning sequence this turn. Alright, discarding 3. Oh, too many lands. Yuck. Oh, the Tarn is interesting, I think. I don't know if she can afford to actually be blowing up his lands at this point. Oh, he's only got 5 seconds left? I guess he can't win. Shoot a time alone. Like, even F6 can't save you at 5 seconds, I don't think. Well, that's too bad. It's kind of a crappy way to lose, but got to play to the clock. Yeah, she's going to use it for what it's worth with the Relic of Progenitus. Yep, that's clock. Okay, well, that match is over, and I guess we're on to Game 4, guys. I'm going to go on a quick pause until we get started. All right, guys, we're live in finals. We are going to go ahead and just Inquisition turn 1 here. It's a great hand. Fauna Shaman and that thing. Let's go into the pile. Play that one out. We'll Lightning Bolt his Fauna Shaman if that's what he plays. Yep. Well, we need to draw some non-lands at this point, but we're doing okay. What's good against us? It is not very good against that. Do you have an exiling effect, good sir? Because what we can do now is Edict, if he gets something back before he's not going to do it, I guess. Could have a Planeswalker here. That would be bad for us. Do you have a way of dealing with this thing? It appears you do. We could make 0 mana. You'll get a 2/2 out of this. It's fine. I'm going to kill the Xenagos, though. And Xenagos, the Reveler, goes to the yard. Well, that's actually pretty good. You gonna get in there with your 2/2? Cool. Well, this is never going to get better, so I'm going to use it here. And I do not want lands, so nope. Fire this thing up and start beating down on him. With negate. Alright, he gives up. Cool. Cool. Got him. Alright, so against his deck, I think I want this. I also think I want this. I want these options. What don't I want? Possibly the Daze. Or the Dismember. No, like it all seems pretty darn good against him. Yeah, maybe not the Bob. Bob is like kind of a beating, and I think he is going to be... I think typically he's going to be the aggro. Here we were the aggro. Because he kept a very threat-light hand that had a lot of mana and didn't draw into threats. Now, he could have started recursing with his... what's it called? The Volrath Stronghold. But that would have just like... It would have fogged his draw, and it would have just stalled the game, and I would have just countered them one by one, and I still would have been drawing cards too. You know, so I think it was probably right to concede there. Once I'm doing 5 damage a turn, you know, and I'm leaving counter magic up, either negate for one of his planeswalkers, or if you try casting a 4-drop out, I could just, you know, hit it with the delve counter, logic not. Although I think this should be a good match. Like, I guess it depends on draw a little bit, but I mean, I think it should be a good match. Because he's on Jund, I'm on Grixis. Both of them are just grindy decks. We obviously have availability of counter magic. He probably has tougher planeswalkers than we do, but we'll see. Well, this is certainly very interesting. It has no blue mana. How greedy am I? I'm pretty greedy, guys. Being fair, I'm pretty greedy. I'm going to be greedy today. I'm going to keep this. Okay? Well, not rewarded yet. This. Go. Maybe never rewarded. Maybe I'll just die. A horrible, horrible death. Have a threat? Oh, a Sylvan Library. Well. Oh. We'll see if it does not pay off. There's a lot of blue sources in the deck, so it would be nice to draw one. Really, any mana source, if you cannot deal with the Dwarven Miner, is pretty good here. Although Dwarven Miner does not get the swamp. Okay, he doesn't take the damage. I cannot daze here, which I wanted to be able to do. He takes some damage there. It's fine. Okay, he kills that. That makes sense to me. And now is where things can very much so come unhinged. And they do. Well, I think we're... Oh, was there a pairings issue? Well, we'll see what's going on here. Let's... Pairing issue. Looks like I'm going to die here. Okay. Well, we lose some cards. That's actually okay, though. Well, we got our land, at least. I think we are quite dead, though. Well, let's see what we can do here. Oh, sounds like something happening with the pairing, or something happened with the pairings, which is unfortunate. You could see him blow up our land here and then fire up the treetop. Okay. Force him to discard a card and get back our Dwarven Miner, which is not going to make a lick of difference at this point, unfortunately. It may not have, regardless. What's our best draw here? Our best draw is likely to be... Is he going to fire up the... Oi, 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 oi. Okay, well, it sounds like there's something going on with the pairings, guys. It's unfortunate. He's going to fire up the treetop more than likely. And we're going to take 9. Take 9 down to 4. Well, that would be, as they call it in the game. We'll concede there. That's got us. And it happens. We kept a greedy one. And honestly, I don't think we're going to beat that draw anyways, so I'm kind of happy we kept a greedy one. We probably should have kept Flash Freeze in here. That was probably wrong. What do we like it over, though? Um, Possibly Counter Squall. Maybe Is It Charm? Hmm. Or Dismember. Nah, Dismember's good. Huh. Okay, we're going to run it like this. We're going to cut the Disallow from the deck. I think the 2-mana counterspell against like a third of his deck is better than the 3-mana one that can counter anything. That could be wrong. We'll definitely play first. This hand is fine. We'll keep it. I think we're going to want to play the island first. What is he going to turn one duress me for? Then it leaves up Daze. Yeah. Well, at least they've been quick games. Much rather Vendilion Click be a true name on Nemesis. I think we're just going to ponder here. Interesting, interesting. Okie doke. Still have Daze up. Play out this threat. And here, what do we want to take? Probably this. Though his draw is significantly increased in power with the Bloodbraid Elf. It's pretty rough to have him get a Bloodbraid Elf there. Yuck. But sometimes you luck into him. Oh, Reclamation Sage. Reclamation Sage I'm fine with. The Bloodbraid I am not. The Brutal Horde Chief we have to find an answer for, though. think we'll hold back, although we probably should have attacked there. He's going to play the Brutal Horde Chief out. I think. Okay. I'm not going to block there. The question comes down to, did he top an answer to the Kalitas? If he did, I think we're just losing. I think we played it as well as we could, but if he has an answer to Kalitas right now, that's probably game. That'd be unfortunate, but it happens. The Blood Braid into the Brutal Horde Chief. Yuck. Pretty good. Pretty good. And I don't think we're going to see this thing come off before the game's really decided. Maybe we will. Yeah, I don't know. Not feeling good about this. Okay. Well, he's obviously topped into something else now, too. Okay, a big Hydra. Oh, a Spell Snare. Suppose we attack here. Okay, I Domri a Rod. Well, we knew he had the Domri. Yeah, we're gonna lose. I mean, his top deck was stellar, and that's the game, you know. That lethal? Not quite. We would need a very good draw though to get out of this. Yeah, Perish. Well, Perish or bust. But top decking Blood Braid into this thing, Eh. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Well, that would be the game, as they say. We are quite dead. Concede match. And, well, hopefully Gatherling is not completely screwed up. I'm going to go on a quick pause. So, guys, we're back on. We're going to catch some of these round fours folks are playing. So the finals have already completed. Although, for some reason, everything is screwed up on Gatherling right now. So we took second place in this tourney. It was a larger tournament, too, which is cool. I think it's 14 folks. Yep. Dots is winning this right now. I don't know if he will be. He has the recurring source of card advantage out of the Tireless Tracker. Mana's fixed. Yeah, I think Dots has got this one, to be honest. I think his deck is just more aggro than hers is. You got turn one, Champion of the Perish. I don't know, this kind of go-go aggro deck could get C in rhythm, but it's going to depend on whether or not he has a Wrath draw, I think. The Cloistered a Youth. Well, the beats are real, but we'll see if it's able to continue. That's really what it comes down to. Because I don't think anything's fast enough. Well, there are things that are fast enough to kill with inside of 4 turns, but generally not involving Cloistered Youth, which will likely flip. Could even just see a Toxic Deluge here. He blows it up. Well, I don't take him to be on Wrath at this point, then. I don't think you do that if you're not on Wrath. Or maybe he has a Moat in hand. Does this thing fly? No, it doesn't fly. Well, that's a very strong card. Thalia. um, yeah, she's not doing well here. Not well at all. What is she Hallowed Moonlight? She just cycle it? You draw a card off of this, right? Yeah, you do. It's a weird card to have main, though, I think. I tend to think. I guess she was worried about Sugar Daddy. His deck. I don't know what he was on today. Didn't get a chance to play him. I don't think he is still playing. Going to see an activation of the Lava Claw Reaches? Possible. No. Still possible. Many things are possible with Deathrite Shaman. Could see that. She could just have a kill spell, too. She has a Wrath of God. I mean, that could be strong there. Let's go on over here. Well, an Engineered Explosives got the poor little champion. That thing's a beating. That thing is a beating. Well, I could have Wrath next turn, possibly. If he does not Wrath the board next turn, I think it's going to be bad. Cool. All right, well, we're going to jump out of this real fast. We're going to play a quick Expo match against Doc Pringles here. And, what do I feel like playing? I'll play the deck I brought today. We'll do Grixis mid-range. See how it fares against Storm. Or maybe he's in a different deck entirely. I don't know. Sands a keep. Good hand. Scry turn 1. Okay, well, his mana is good. It appears he is still on the Storm deck he was running before. What we're going to do here is just run this out. It is a very slow threat. Oh, Dark Confidant. That's quite strong. I cannot daze this turn of note. So possibly that was wrong. But I don't think he's going to kill me on this turn. I think in Hunter card, it's quite impossible to kill on turn 2. Although you could put something into play that's bad for me. Possibly. Oh, what have you got? Nothing? Okay. Counter magic, possibly. Well, I'm just going to play this out. And leave up counter magic at this point. Next turn, I'll play the Bob out. Although it may have been better to play out the Dark Slick Shores this last turn. Slow and steady. Slow and steady here. There you go. We're going to get our, this right here. Alrighty, so we'll just counter this thing. Don't have a way to answer it now. He could burn off my Dwarven Miner if he likes. No, okay. This. We'll cut this and cut this, I think. Luck of gods, we'll keep it. Shouldn't. Alright, he's going to opt here. Yep, fine with that. And we need to draw some counter magic. Okay, Nauseous Revival is his fetch land. Okay, I'm fine with that. Down a card. Too easy. It's one of the problems with Nauseous Revival. Really should be getting you game-winning cards, but he's obviously using his cantrips to find lands, which is a place that I tend to find myself when I play Storm as well. And play this out. Here's your go at it. You can kill this thing. I don't really care that much. Really, I'm just trying to get to the Gurmag Angler, and then I do want to leave up Complicate next turn. Do you want to crack it at this point? Well, it depends on what you can do. Electrolyze could blow out my Pyromancer and keep you up a card. I will feel a lot more comfortable once I have the Complicate up. Okay, Electromancer. Cool. Cool beans. Not a great draw there. But we knew that going in. Let's stay back with this thing. What do you have? You're definitely hunting for lands. Okay. Impulse away. Okay, Serum Visions. No, it has not played a land yet. No land. Well, that's a strong one. Kill this thing. Seems good enough. May have just gotten next leveled, but he's out of mana right now. His deck needs mana. And yeah, I like that exchange. And it fuels my delve. So I guess it could go wrong. Well, and it may. Taking the damage there is interesting. Play this thing out. Slow and easy. Well, it seems good. Do you have a factor fiction? That will definitely get countered. He has a cryptic command. Interesting. Well, do you have a Wrath now? Or can you win? Good game, man. Alright, well, we got Doc. He was the other unpaired player. Yeah, I had more counters, yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah, he had a lot of mana. A lot of mana and a lot of cards. So, may have gotten there. Alright, let's check out what's going on. Okay, well, at this point, AEF's winning this match. However, ML's deck does have Wrath of God effects in it, so, I mean, he could definitely come back from behind. No lands have obviously been hurt in the making of this film. His Dust Bowl has not been utilized yet. He bounced a land with his Emancipation Angel, which means his hand is it's got larger cards in it, which is weird to me. I don't know why you'd play this card first. If you have like Wrath of Gods, I think you just leave it in your hand. Could be debating. I wonder what he put in his hand. Maybe he's debating a day's play and he put it in his hand, and it's just like, ugh, yuck. The board does need to be Wrath, though. Master of the... no problems. Oh, a Regal, a Force. Well, this game has just ended. I guess it hasn't, but it's not looking promising. It's a lot of cards to contend with. I guess he's doing a lot of damage here, but can he survive the backswing? Probably not. A natural order, I think you have to attack with both. Yeah, and the reason being... Alright, what do we got here? The land is gone. Oh, we'll make all of his stuff huge. Make all of his stuff a mono huge. Well, AEF is looking like he's in a good spot here. I cannot think of... Well, I guess he's not going to pump his dudes. How could this be lost? Bone Splitter equip onto Mirroring Crusader could win the game right here. It's one of the few things I can think of that would win the game from this position. I think... I don't know. Like another flyer. Well, that being the case, like I feel like you have to risk it. I don't know, like an attack, right? Like attack with that thing, and put him down to 8, and then you put him one away from dead next turn. Or you could just draw the Bone Splitter. If you have a Bone Splitter in there, like more power to you. That'd be pretty good here. Well, with Thespian Stage, that means he's likely to be running the Dark Depths at combo. That thing is dead. And you got a Crater Hoof or some other nonsense to win with. No, just a Nissa. I think if I'm ML, I'm conceding here. This game is over. Yeah, I think it's concession time. You can get him down to, what, 7? Although I still think if he could, like, snapped off that one attack... Nope, I guess it's over. Alrighty, well, let's go to the next one. Let's check this one out. This is, like, Esper Control Averse Aggro. There still are a lot of white aggro decks running around. Oh, Smuggler's Copter got countered. That's definitely right. That card is a beast. What a great card. That card is obnoxiously good. You gonna see Consume the Meek? Okay, no. I was being hopeful. Consume the Meek is a card that I haven't seen a lot of. I play it in a mono black control 100 card deck. It's not a bad stack of cards. Although, what is it doing against the board? I don't think much. Huh. I guess he got unexpectedly absent. He could like put the Aether Vial on top of his deck just to screw with him. I can't even do that. He has no fixed mana. I think it's like unexpectedly absent, the Queller together, plus the Thoughtseize, and then land counterspell. The 2 cards he can't cast right now. Against the one he can cast this turn. It depends on what he's got in hand too, what Rob has in hand. It tends to be when you're casting an end-step factor fixing your opponent's end-step, you're winning the game. But against this board, I don't think that tends to be the case. Actually, I don't believe it to be the case whatsoever. Okay, well, he takes the 2 cards. Evidently, he wants to counterspell, and he wants to have a way of exiling another card. But I don't think that's good against a Mother unless he has an end-step way of answering it, or a way of answering it during his turn. Could have, like, like a Hero's Downfall or something. He was playing that card against us, and I was kind of fine with it. Like, you're spending 3 mana to kill my Liliana that already discarded a card from you. Or actually already killed one of your creatures. Cool. Like, that's fine. Not that he didn't have to do that, like you have to. Okay, well, he has an answer, so there's the answer to that. Does he have white mana now is kind of the other question. If he does not, then he's just countering spells and still taking, like, 7 a turn. He won't take lethal next turn, but, well, he could, actually. I mean, if Aven Mind Sensor comes out of the wings here, that could be the end of the game. Obviously, he could counter it. But if he's doing this, it means he doesn't have, like, a Toxic Deluge or something in hand to answer the board. Or Damnation. And or a Consume the Meek, as I referenced, but no one plays that card. Even though I love it. Instant speed, 5 mana Wrath, kill everything that costs less than 3. I guess it still leaves the Ranger of Eos on the board. It is good against manlands, though. It's kind of an interesting card. Alright, down to 1. Alright, and that's probably the game. I also got to kill that Mishra's Factory, which is going to be problematic for him. Yeah. I do not envy a Lawrence's position. Good game. Looks like that's it. And that makes sense. It's kind of how I expect that matchup to run. Okay, a Sea and Rhythm versus Golden Lyn. What does he have under here? A Hangerback Walker? Yeah, okay. Well, Flash of Insight. On his own turn. He's representing counter magic. Those are not great threats. And now one of them is a dead threat. The other one is a Ornithopter without flying. That did just so happen to take a Hangerback Walker. Okay, well, you know, looks pretty good for C. Looking pretty good. Oh, Wrath of God's already been resolved. Okay. Well, that makes sense. I'm assuming that is going to get the Dread of Night. Yep, okay. Do you have another 1-mana threat? Or 2-mana threat, rather. Although here it's like interesting. Like that's the problem with these cards, the Fairgrounds Wardens of the world, is with Hangerback Walker underneath it's fine, but it just sets up so many 2-for-1s. That's why I don't play them. Never really cared for them. I mean, they're fine. Like against like mono green, they're like good, you know. It's like a green deck. I think they're 100% fine. I think actually here you return the Fairgrounds Warden, give him back the Hangerback Walker, and then you have an answer for another threat. I think keeping the 1/3 is kind of abysmal. I think that's what you want to do is just pop that Fairgrounds Warden back into hand. It's not mana efficient, but I mean, what's a 1/3 really doing for you? You're doing a Lightning Bolt every turn. I mean, if I'm C, I'm pretty comfortable. I'm only going to take a Lightning Bolt every turn. 1 Lightning Bolt a turn, yeah, that's beatable. Given he can't expect the same value out of killing the Fairgrounds Warden, I mean, he's not going to get anything back. So, he's got to find a threat and a way of dealing with all this junk. Okay. Well, again, he's got time on his side because Ancestral Visions will likely come off under this board state, depending on what the last card is that Golden Lyn has in hand. Well, evidently, either his draw or one of his last cards was land. And he's on the Bolt Planet, it appears. Okay. Or correction, not even the Bolt plan. The what is it? Lava Spike plan. 1 damage a turn. Nothing, huh? Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Alright, well, what do we have now? I'm wondering what threat package C plays in here. I know he has the Thopter combo, so he's a combo control deck, but I'm assuming he has some other threats. He also got the Hangerback, obviously. Right, Flash of Insight. And what do you find? And it may not be apparent to us now. No, obviously it's not going to be made apparent to us now. It's probably some means of keeping a large threat from coming down. I don't think it's... Oh, really? I don't know. Maybe you save that. Just take 1 damage a turn, you know? Like, it's not that much. I think I saved that Path to Exile there, but I don't know his holdings. Okay, well, there's another threat. And might as well pass it. Okay, well, Enlightened Tutor getting 1/2 of his combo. Maybe he has the other half. Don't know. Oh, Engineered Explosives. Interesting. Well, I guess you get Engineered Explosives for 3. Kill the threat plus get back the Dread of the Night. Although, like, I don't know. Like, taking 1 damage a turn while you have Ancestral on the stack seems like it's manageable. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe, like, he's afraid of, like, Crusade effect or something. I don't know. I mean, he can kill all of his cards here. which has got to feel pretty good. But I don't know. I think you still take at least the 1 damage here from this thing. I guess he does not, just to keep him from dropping any more 3 drops. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. Okay, well, Dreaded Knight is back, which is bad for Golden Lyn. Wonder if they fixed this yet. I guess not. I guess I'm coming in 4th or 5th now. The guy who took 2nd, but whatever. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, well, that's the game. Yeah. I don't know about that. I mean, I think you just top them. Just top them. Just end the game. I don't know. I guess it depends on what he has in hand, but I mean, what are you going to counter here? His 1 card left? I guess, like, if it's an Elspeth, then you, like, lament that, but, like, I don't know, like, I don't feel like Goldie's been, like, so disciplined. He hasn't played it out when no blue mana has been shown. But I think you just start topping here and just win the game. And at this point, yeah, with 7 cards in hand, I would be shocked if he did anything but that. The first time he actually dug for cards, I was a little shocked. Feels like another Planeswalker, like a Narset Transcendent Master. Kind of what it feels like to me. No, I guess not. No, it's just a moat. Yeah. Nothing wrong with a moat. He's obviously got a counter up too. Well, there's a flyer. And of course, the Mazavith in play. I mean, 1 flyer is not a big deal. It doesn't really do anything. Just keep on topping. Yeah, Jace is one of the more oppressive cards in blue, especially in this format. Like, the power of Jace in, like, Vintage, I think, is lost because there's so many powerful cards in it. But when you start playing against Jace in this format, or imagine what it would have been like, because I didn't play at the time, in, like, a standard format, you can understand, like, how the card has been banned in a lot of places. It's just so oppressive. Like, if the turn ever passes, like, it's... Your percentage is like 90% almost, it feels like, to win games. This is going to be draw the cards. Yeah, Sphinx's Rev. Well, there's absolutely nothing I think Golden Lyn could do from here to get out of this mess. Don't think it's an available option. Well, there's another threat. Not that it per se matters all that much, but yeah, and the 1/1 dies obviously because of his own Dread Knight. Elspeth does lose some utility around Dread Knight. I guess he can always make it all his stuff indestructible. Okay, he discards a bunch of lands. And, well, 3 cards. What would it take here? Like, Topan Freeblade? Yeah, it's doing nothing. Wasteland into, I don't know, Banishing Light. Griffin Guide. Alright, alright. That's pretty cool. It's pretty good. There you go. Scrapping away at it. Probably got a wrath in hand though. He's just like waiting for him to do all this stuff so he can wrath him. Would be my guess. And if he doesn't, he's probably going to try to draw to it. Would be my estimation of what's going to happen here. Probably going to see like not a Wrath of God, but I guess Supreme Verdict get played here. Yeah, could be many things. Toxic Deluge, Damnation even could be cast on this board with this mana. There's just so many options. Or you could just combo him out, make a crap ton of flyers with his combo, which is Thopter Foundry and Sword of the Meek. But my guess would be he will just top and then play a Wrath or a Wrath-like effect and win the game. Yep, Supreme Verdict. No, just Day of Judgment. And a 2/2 flyer comes into play, or a 1/1 flyer rather, with the Dread of Night. And he puts another 1/1 that dies instantaneously onto the battlefield to pump up his Elspeth, and then says go. And then not next turn, but the turn after, he will be able to exile his entire graveyard, or entire hand and graveyard. Okay, Loyal Cathar. Yeah, you can't really win with these kind of cards this late in the game. You got to make it happen fast. If you don't, well, you don't. Yeah, Maze of Ith. It's funny, the flip side of Loyal Cathar actually is better than the front side of it. We have here an Impulse for something or another. Impulse, a beast. Most certainly is a beast. Alright, well, do you have like a Griff's Boon? Oh, Seeing Rhythm put a card on the bottom of his library. Interesting. Wonder what it was. Well, I guess the Snappy Snapcaster's getting in there. Well, the combo is now in play, even though I don't think it is bound to be relevant. That should be there's a Leon and a Sky Hunter. Well, he's definitely hitting pretty good tops against this moat. Not that I think they're bound to make any sort of difference whatsoever, because the game has just ended unless he can win in exactly a one more turn. One more turn and a draw step. No, evidently not. I don't know why he's bothering with this. Just Jace him and kill him. You don't need to attack him to death. I guess it is kind of fun, though, to make Thopters gain some life. There's no white stifle, so... Yep. And there's your whole deck. The stasis snare in there. Interesting. Excuse me, folks. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to win this. I think you probably can concede here. think you can probably concede this one. Well, guys, I don't think we need to watch the rest of this out. It's pretty much over. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry for it being chopped. I'm gonna have to. When I say chop, I mean like cut in two. I'm gonna have to see if it saved the first round against C and Rhythm. Because unfortunately we had to restart because Moto broke. So I'm going to go ahead and break links here, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed the matches, and I hope to see you out next weekend if you are watching this and if you had to play. And if that is something that interests you, you can play this format, 100 Card Singleton, every Saturday at 15:30 or 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can register for it on Gatherling.com, which I believe I still currently have up. This is it right here. You go on, and you can actually register for an account once you're on here, and you'll have a player CP, and then you can register for this event, which is called the Chainsaw Massacre. If you're interested in what more about the Chainsaw Massacre, you can go into one of these event tabs right here, and it links to MTG Salvation. It'll take you to the page 1, and on the page 1, you can utilize this post number 1, which is by ML Berlin, the host. It has a bunch of videos, but then it has, a bunch of rules for how you play this game, what you can put in your deck, etc. So I hope you guys enjoyed the matches, and take it easy, all right?